Well, hello everybody. How you doing? And welcome to today's episode. I'm going to actually do something a little bit different today. There's two questions that we get asked all the time from the time that we actually started doing the farmers market in St. Jacobs, and even when we're on the road, we get asked this question a ton. And then there's a second question that kind of follows with the first, and I'm going to try to talk about both here today. So the first question that we always get asked is, why did you guys decide to go into full-time RV? And to answer that, just as I'm sitting here now, it's really about therapy for Karen and I. And I'm going to get back to that in just a sec. We actually started full-time RVing around 2016. And the first motorhome that we bought was a 32-foot Gulfstream Supreme. And we were kind of like weekend warriors. We decided that we wanted to have a motorhome to kind of go to different campsites and go to different places. And then, of course, during the summer months, our big thing was to go to Nashville and go to the CMA concerts that were in Nashville for 3 days. So we'd venture down to Nashville for a week or maybe 10 days with the RV, and that was kind of like our summer vacation. We'd come back. So it was one of those things where we kind of decided, you know what, this is really a lot of fun, and I think this is something we could see ourselves doing maybe 10 years down the road. So it was like 2016, we were thinking 10 years down the road, we could probably retire at that point and really get out and enjoy ourselves. Then things changed for us. In 2018, unfortunately, our beautiful daughter Haley was involved in a car accident and she lost her life. And that changed everything for us. It was devastating for us, of course, but it changed everything for us psychologically. It was in January that it happened. And by September, Karen and I had decided, you know what? Enough is enough. Let's actually start living life. Let's just get rid of everything, start fresh, and look at things in a different light. Really start to absorb the life that we have and the time that we have, and do this in honor of our daughter Haley. So it was quite the change. We ended up selling the house. I sold off my business, sold all the equipment in the business, and Karen ended up leaving her job as an administrative assistant in human resources for the company that she was working for. And I'll tell you straight off the bat, it was a change, and it took a lot of getting used to. I mean, we went from 1,500 square feet of house to like 400 square feet of RV space. So that alone was a little bit of a change. But for me personally, it was definitely a change because I went from go, go, go of being self-employed to like zoom. Absolutely nothing. And that took a little bit of getting used to for me. And I'll be honest with you, it took me probably about maybe 8 months to settle back and just kind of really wrap my head around the fact that, you know what, I am retired and I just need to slow down and relax. And I think we get so caught up in that day-to-day activity of go, 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 and we've got to be here, we've got to be there, we've got to make sure that the kids are taken care of, we've got to make sure that there's groceries, we've got to make sure that our rent or our mortgages are paid, and that's a lot of stress on our bodies and our minds. And you don't really realize until after you relinquish these things and let them go, how unimportant these things really are. So a lot of people thought we were crazy. We kind of thought we were crazy at points. After COVID had hit, we had, I think, been on the road maybe 2 years. We started wondering, oh man, did we do the right thing? But I can tell you now that after 5 years of doing this, that it is definitely the right thing for us. It was what we needed. And I think the enjoyment of us being able to incorporate our photography along with being able to travel has really helped us a lot. And I'll be honest with you, the reason why Karen's not here today, because it's really hard for her sometimes to talk about it. And I didn't really want her to come on camera and have to, talk about it and not feel comfortable. So it's hard for us both, but it is definitely harder for Karen to talk about it, and she is dealing with it a lot differently than I am. And that's one of those things that being out on the road helps us actually talk and just therapeutically get through all of this turmoil and devastation that it creeps into your mind every now and then. But that's the real reason why we ended up going full time into RVing was basically just to give our heads a break and really kind of get back to Karen and I being a couple and actually enjoying life. And I think that's one of the reasons why at the end of each one of our episodes, we say, live your best life. Why put off to tomorrow what you can do today, I think is really what you can get out of this. It's life is too short and we put too many pressures on ourselves throughout the day. And we really need to alleviate those things. That's what that whole full-time RVing is all about for us. It's therapeutic and it's also fun, because we can incorporate our photography into it and really enjoy what we're doing when we're going out into the field. And I think my wife put it the best. She said that when she goes out to do her photography, she forgets about everything else and she focuses on the art, and that helps her. And it's really the same for me as well. I enjoy doing video, time lapse. There's so many different avenues of photography that we both like to just jump into, that it makes it therapeutic. It helps us kind of focus our attention on something different. All right, so that's kind of question number one. Question number two is a little bit more intricate. People have asked us, how do you guys survive financially? And to be honest with you, I guess really it's not that intricate. I mean, honestly, what we ended up doing is we sold our house and we ended up taking that money and we invested it into, well, stocks, bonds, and all that kind of stuff. And what we do is we actually live off of the interest that we have basically invested. So we have to be very careful. We have to be very budget conscious. We also have to make sure that when we make our trips down to Arizona, a trip like that generally costs somewhere between maybe $8,000 to almost $10,000. And we have to be able to replenish that money back, because once we take that money out of our investments, we actually have to be able to put it back so that we're going to be able to survive and maintain that monthly income that we take out of it. So yeah, it's not really all that complicated. You know what I mean? It's you have to make sure that you stay on top of it, and you're constantly reviewing what you've invested in to make sure that it's going in the right direction. And right now, you have to make sure that if things aren't going in the right direction, well, then you talk to your guy or your girl who is actually managing your account and find out from them what is the best thing to do with the amount of money that you have, maybe in something that might be high risk. Okay, should we move that into something that might be a little bit more secure because of the bumpiness of the market? But those are the kinds of things that, Karen and I deal with on a regular basis. But that's really what it's all about for us. So I hope that I've answered both of those questions. I hope that they make sense. As always, guys, you know what? Live your best life. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. So all the best from TOL Photography. We'll see you soon. Ciao.